When I lived in Qualicum Beach, I never did feel that the council had any respect for people's opinions, and unfortunately it seems like that has continued. The Town of Qualicum Beach moves forward on alternative recommendations for a proposed cell tower. What that really means is we've decided to disregard the public and go ahead with a cell tower despite anything. Now, many parts of this article particularly concern me. First of all, of course, the tower being built on one of two town-owned locations along at basically the entrance to Qualicum Beach. Now, the Director of Planning notes that the town has received a large volume of unsolicited correspondence on the proposed location, as well as requests from the community members to make a delegation to the council on the issue. Well, if they're not listening to the people and accepting delegations, who is calling their tune? Well, in this case, I suspect probably Telus or whoever is the funding person behind the company behind the tower. He goes on to the Director of Planning goes on to note, staff have not allowed delegations to the gate and are seeking council direction. Then when they got the direction, ignore the public. One council member, I'm not seeing the advantage of carrying on for another month and a bit. Well, it seems to me the safety of the public and the health of the public is worth waiting for another month. I love dialogue, I love public feedback. Well, then maybe you should listen to it, not just let it go through and ignore it. The mayor did point out, my concern is that up until not long ago, a couple of days ago, we've been telling the public that it isn't before council yet. This isn't before the town. Well, then all of a sudden it's not only before the town, they make the decision and pay little attention to what the public has been saying about it in the past. Do sort of wonder just how well-informed Councillor Scott Harrison is on the subject when he says, for the health side of things, I think that the main concern people have that's not corroborated by literature reviews that have been done by international organizations tasked with making sure people are safe. Well, that is blatantly not correct. And with probably somewhere in the order of 25,000 or more scientific papers from a variety of qualified scientists as well as organizations noting the various health aspects and health concerns. He's just parroting what they've been told to say, which is coming from sources within the industry. And by industry, I also include ICNIRP, International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection. That's a funded organization, funded by industry, stacked by industry. They're not an independent organization and should never be listened to when it comes to setting policy or procedures in the local community. The parcel is 1.2 acres. Well, and it's not important. Well, the thing is that maybe the physical structure is not a major serious issue, but the radiation from that tower is going to spread a considerable distance and cause harm to a considerable number of people. And they have to start getting away from that. The only problem with a cell tower is the visual appearance of it. It's a much greater problem. And I'm just get so frustrated with councils falling back on this. There's no evidence when there is clearly a lot of evidence, and they refuse to fulfill their mandate of looking after the public's health, passing that on to organizations such as Industry Canada, or as is now known, Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, which has no interest whatsoever in health and is only interested in promoting business interests. Unfortunately, things never seem to change. Qualicum Beach, in the 20 years I've been away from there, hasn't changed at all.